I've been involved in Scouts since I was in kindergarten. I went through the Cub Scouts, and I'm now a Life Scout in Troop 294 in Almaden. I'm going to attend Leland High School as a freshman next year when school starts. I currently work at the Shadowbrook Pool as a gate attendant, which means I check everyone into the pool when they show up. And I'm part of a charity organization in Almaden called Boys Team Charity. This is an organization that allows boys to help out in their community and have fun together. We help many nonprofit organizations, and it's actually from Boys Team Charity that I found the idea for my project. Over the past year, I've been working with an organization called Fish Food Pantry. We are involved with that organization from Boys Team Charity. They're a nonprofit organization based in St. Timothy's Church at 5100 Camden Avenue, San Jose. The Fish Food Pantry helps to get food to families that need it and can't get it themselves. They do this by allowing families to come 4 times a month, twice per, like each family can come twice, but they're open every Thursday. And they can pick up food from the Fish Food Pantry location. When you volunteer there, you help carry bags for the people that have come to pick up their food, because they get to choose which food they'd like, and they get a good amount of food, and they might need help carrying it, so you can put it in a little cart and carry it with them. And some of the people that come to the Fish Food Pantry are not able to walk very well, so they need the help to be able to carry the bags. Once they have got all their food, then you help bring it to their car. The Fish Food Pantry is a really nice charity that helps out many people, and I wanted to give back to them for helping all those families in need. I asked what type of help they would need, and that's when they gave me the idea for benches. Fish Food Pantry just moved to a new location, so there were a lot of small things that they wanted to have done, but I wanted to build benches. That would be a larger task and more worthwhile to the Fish Food Pantry over a longer time. Currently, the courtyard in front of their building and St. Timothy's Church has very old benches that don't have a backrest. St. Timothy never needed to replace the benches, but now that the Fish Food Pantry has moved in there, the benches do not work very well for them. Some of the people that go to the Fish Food Pantry have a hard time sitting, and the benches are uncomfortable and do not support their backs well. The Fish Food Pantry operates on a first-come, first-served basis, which means some of the people that want to get the best choices of the food might come like half an hour to an hour early, which is hard to sit on the benches for that long as they wait. But the benches I will be building, you can see a picture of it, have a backrest and should be a huge improvement over those. The Fish Food Pantry had the idea of the benches they wanted built, which is actually where I got that picture from. And the person that leads the Fish Food Pantry had seen these benches outside of the YMCA. So I was able to drive over there and take measurements that I needed and figure out what kind of wood they used and all the information. And when I was talking to someone that was at the YMCA, I realized that those benches were also made by a different Eagle Scout as their project, which I thought was interesting. So I had to measure all the posts and how tall they were and how long the benches were, because they're not the same size as the benches at the Fish Food Pantry. So I had to scale it to make sure it would still fit. Once I had all the information that I needed, I was able to start planning on how to build the benches. The posts at Fish Food Pantry were not as tall as the posts that the other benches had, so I need to find a way to raise the seating area to 17 inches off the ground, because that's the most comfortable height for a bench seat. So I had to get big, thick squares of wood. You might be able to see it in the corner of one of my pictures, to put on top of the posts so that I could get the height of 17 inches that I wanted. but I didn't want to replace the posts because they weren't in bad condition because they were under the bench, so they weren't exposed to the sun. And if I had replaced them, I would have to take them out of concrete and then put more concrete in after, which would make the project a lot harder than it currently would be. But instead, I can remove the old benches from those posts and then reuse those posts and just add a little height onto it. Then I had to figure out where to get all of the wood and supplies I would need for my benches because I needed to find the place that they would cost the least so I could save as much money as possible. I had to buy many screws and bolts that will hold the bench together. And I noticed that one of the reasons that fish needed new benches is because the old ones were always in the sun, so they got damaged by the sun over time. And I knew that I would have to protect my benches from sun exposure because they'd be in the same spots as the old benches. So I decided instead of using like specific stain to increase the color, I got spar urethane, which is a chemical you can apply to wood to protect it from conditions just like that and protect it from the sun so that they won't get damaged. I did face some challenges with my project, however. Originally, when I put together my design, I didn't account for some of the measurement distances, such as the posts being different heights. So I had to change the height by using those squares. This required me to buy those additional boards, which if the posts were the same. And when I did my budget, some of the things I had bought, I hadn't accounted the tax for. And so I had to add some extra money to my cost to account for the tax on those items. But the largest challenge that I faced during my project was the timing of coronavirus, because I was able to buy all the items and put them in my garage, but by then the coronavirus had spread around and I had to postpone my work days. Before long, I realized that it was not going to go away anytime soon, and I decided I needed to modify my plan so that I could safely have scouts work on it and still get it done quickly so it doesn't take forever. This was hard to do because people always want to like hang out together and talk to each other when they're working at a project. So I had to make sure they would actually stay apart and stay safe. I modified it so everyone was always wearing masks and gloves, and we have a hand sanitizer on the table for everyone to use so that they don't spread coronavirus and stay safe. And I was glad that I'm able to help the Fish Food Pantry out with my project because it is important to them, but it is a large project and the cost reflects that. But I wanted these benches to last a very long time and make it easier for fish to do what they do and help everyone out. And I'm very glad that they gave me this opportunity. And now for the reason that I am here. I came to ask the Rotary Club to consider donating to my project. I know that my project may not be unique, as I'm sure you have seen people build benches before as their Eagle project, but the place I will be supporting is unique. The Fish Food Pantry provides lots of food to many families in our neighborhood and can be an important part of those people's lives. They help so many people in need, and now that they are in need, I want to help them. I hope you can help me keep this place running smoothly and comfortably for the families in need. Thank you. If any of you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yes, I do.
I do too.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Rebecca?
Sure. So, do you know Tom Myers? He was in your first slide in the photo.
Oh.
Keep going. Yep, on the far left. That John.
I have seen him there, yes.
He's a phenomenal fundraiser. He raised a lot of money for the YMCA. I can help connect you with him. But outside of that, you were talking about PPE. Is that stuff all included in your budget, or will that come from somewhere else?
Is
The PPE is when you talked about, you know, the sanitation and the masks and the gloves and all of that stuff that helps keep us, it's protective equipment.
oh, yeah, that was included in my budget.
That's included in here somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know if that's
What?
so I have a separate table that I was using. It's sort of like a spreadsheet, but it's very large because it has everything very specific.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because that stuff can get kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And do you know how many families on average the organization feeds, maybe monthly or annually?
Month. I'm not sure exactly. But sometimes throughout a day, like 20 to 30 families could come through. Normally you'd help maybe like 7, but there's a couple of volunteers, so there could be like, I don't know, maybe 30 families that come through each week. So I guess probably maybe 60 or 70 families they're supporting.
Okay. And lastly, for donors, are there naming rights, donor plaques, or anything along those lines that come with a large donor in regards to acknowledging them?
Sure. I could make one if you want to have a donor plaque.
No, it's okay. Just asking a question. Your turn, Brian.
Yeah, so have you begun fundraising or done some fundraising?
I have. Currently from my troop, we have a Walmart fund, which a scout previously raised a lot of money from Walmart and didn't use it all. So I was able to get $100 from that troop fund. And I'm currently sending emails to all of my family members and friends to see if any of them are interested in donating.
Okay, and so far you raised $100 or
I've
you
raised
raised more?
125 so far because one of my family members has donated $25.
Okay.
Yeah, speaking on that, what's the timeline for this project for your goal to have your dollars raised and then the project to be finished?
Well, currently we have already done one of the work days for like assembling the benches, which is when we applied the spar urethane. The second day, which hopefully we finished and managed to put the benches on the posts, is going to be on the 25th this month. I was hoping to have the fundraising done maybe, if that was possible, by August or maybe September if it takes a long time, but hopefully August. And it really depends on how fast my family responds, so I can see how much I need to raise from things other than that.
So I think I missed it. What was the total budget?
The total cost, can you see it on this slide?
Yes.
So it was about like $1,200 or so dollars. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can see it.
Yeah, so
We can
I'm just
see
not
it.
on that side. Sorry. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's $1,218.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ken will take care of it.
No, I got it. I'm trying
And
to
that
work
was,
too.
that's accounting everything we've bought so far. I might need to buy more supplies if we run into an obstacle, but I do not believe I will because we're gonna hopefully finish assembling the whole bench on the 25th.
Okay.
So do you have access to all the tools you need?
I do. I can ask my troop for the tools, and my dad actually has a lot of tools and drills and all that. And if I don't, I can ask my troop to see if they can get the stuff, because they're normally will let you borrow the stuff that you need.
So to Rebecca's point, so you're going to add what, $50 to $100 for safety materials, like gloves and masks or that kind of thing, or?
Well, I currently already have the safety materials.
Okay.
I just didn't put them into this table, their own section. But I have a separate spreadsheet that's like very large with all the individual items, and the costs of those are in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I
okay.
recommend, from coming from a philanthropic background, when you speak about COVID and speaking out safety, I would make the PPE its own line, so you're addressing it as something important to take care of the volunteers and whoever's involved. Breaking that out, considering the situation right now. That's just my suggestion.
Does anyone
Okay.
else have any questions?
No,
Okay.
I mean,
It's a good
I think it's
idea.
good. Yeah, very
it's
good.
great. You're very, very organized and everything. I'm
Yeah,
really,
thank you.
really
Alright.
great for doing this. Okay, Michelle. Yeah, let's do our clap here. Michelle, do you want to speak about Nathan's project?
Hi, yeah, my husband's name is Nathan. That's probably why you guys get him mixed up. Nathan's actually worked with Rebecca on a number of things. So often when I come or have been here, people mix up. My oldest son is Andrew, and Andrew's the
Andrew.
one who did the
Okay.
presentation last year for the tortoise enclosure. I'm not sure if you guys remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he did the tortoise enclosure, and I'd love to share my screen with you if it will do it, but it's not
Yes, it
seeming
should.
like it's coming up, sadly. I'm not sure why mine's not sharing, but Justin's is. Sometimes it happens. But Andrew wrote up an update for you guys. He's at work. He works at Shadowbrook as well, and so he's checking in people right now. But he said, hello, Rotary Club members. Thank you again for donating the $500 to me for my Eagle project. It is the tortoise enclosure, if you remember, and it helped with my project so much, and I really appreciate it. We have been working on my project very slowly because of the pandemic. I had recently scheduled that it would be in March, and then the pandemic hit and I couldn't do any of my work days. So I had to wait until the Santa Clara County allowed me to add boys onto my property at a social distance. I have only recently done my second project day, as I never had a chance to allow people to work safely. I finished making the panels for the fence and transporting the wood to the farm. In a few weeks, on August 1st, I'm going to be having my final project work day, and I will install the fences, dig the posts, dig the trenches, and be able to be done with the project and can share my final results with you soon. I am not sure if this is going to show up, since I can't share my screen for some reason. Clearly, Justin is more technology oriented than his mother, but I'm gonna do my best. Andrew had made the tortoise panels, and I can't even do this way, sadly. It's not gonna show up for you. But he had made the tortoise house, and it is a little house with, I'm going the wrong way. And it has the ability to put 2 tortoises in it, and it is painted in the shape of tortoise and the hare theme. So it has the hare sleeping and that sort of model there. And they were able to do some roof panels and building fences panels that has a bunch of wire mesh and sink down low. They were able to build all of those at the house a couple weeks ago, and they spaced out all their sections as well, just like Justin's planning on doing with his benches. And he has a bunch of pictures to be able to show as soon as he's able to get to the farm. Sadly, he can't get to the farm until the 1st. So that's when he's gonna finish up his part.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Who did
That's
the
great.
painting on the outside?
I got to do the painting, which was my
Okay, yeah.
favorite
No, that's
part.
cool. Nice
They
job.
got to do the
Careful.
building.
Be careful. He's going to ask you to start painting things soon.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
That's good.
pianos.
Andrew picked what he wanted, and then my contribution was I got to do the painting. I let him and the scouts do all the building and the sanding and the cutting, and I saved the fun stuff for me, which
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
That's good.
Thank you for the update.
Okay, so I wanted to let you know that we did get the check from one of the members of one of the fathers of the troop from, what was it, VMware,
The matching
And-
gift. It's the matching gift.
a matching gift.
from
We
Eric Bowe.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
finally
Yeah.
got it. We just deposited it. So we're having an endowment meeting for you guys who are on endowment board on Monday, and I'll send out the check that day.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm
It
the
just took a
treasurer,
little
so
while.
actually you'd be
Okay.
sending it to me anyways. So
Yeah, so if you could email your address, I might have it, but I just want to make sure.
yeah, absolutely, I can do that for you.
Okay. Does
Good.
anybody have
Tell
any
your
more
son,
questions?
great job. Tell your son
Yeah.
he's doing a great job. Keep up the work.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. I
that's
will
cool.
tell the other one.
Yes, Andrew.
All right. Thank you for your time,
Yeah.
guys. We'll be in touch with you, Justin, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very
will be in
much
touch.
for having us.
Yeah, Justin.
All right, thank you.
Mark,
Goodbye.
see you.
Okay. Well, you want to, so, do you want me to take over, Rebecca?
Go for it.
Okay, so today's supposed to be the endowment vote. And I have a proposition here to make it easier for us to do it. I have 3 people that said they wanted to continue, or 2 people want to continue and 1 doesn't. That's me. So I have a slate of people that I would like to nominate, and that's Ken Tavernier, Paul Cosentino, and Dave Olson. And so I'm nominating those 3. Is there any other nominations that anybody wants? Now, this is for the endowment board. Any questions? Okay, good.
Why does Terry keep staring at me?
I don't know.
That's weird.
You
Do
know,
you think it's weird?
that
I just put
reminds
it on.
me, Ed Littacina in his store used to have a thing with, what was her name, Mary Lou Retton, the gymnast.
Yeah.
There was this cutout thing that was in the back of his store, and every time I'd walk in, that thing would scare the hell out of me.
Rebecca, are you okay?
Yeah, I just sneezed.
Okay.
Somebody put
so,
the camera on you, and all of a sudden we see you
I
convulsing.
know, he saw you.
I was like, what?
sneezing.
What was that?
I'm
Oh,
just
what? We
allergic.
saw
I'm
you.
allergic to you talking.
Well, we also saw you clipping your nails, Ken, so that's okay.
Manscaped.
Okay, so then by acclamation, Ken, Dave, and Paul are on the endowment board for the next 2 years. And just to let you know, the endowment members that are on this call, I would like to have a meeting Monday to finish up the year for the endowment, tell you how much we spent. We didn't spend too much on giving money to the community project for Area 6 or the global project. So we have money left over. And I also want to talk about the soccer team. What was that called, Greg? Your dad's
Oh,
soccer
it's
team?
wheelchair soccer. It's,
Wheelchair soccer.
I forget the name of the team.
But anyway,
It's
I'll
wheelchair
talk
soccer.
to the endowment board about that. So that's all for me, Rebecca.
Okay. Any announcements from the group?
I'd like to ask Greg how Paul's doing.
Yeah, I just found out.
So to fill you
It's
all
a
in,
secret. It's a
not
secret, man.
It's just
I haven't told anybody. I'm pretty good.
I'm kind of impressed, Ken. And I have not spoken to him today yet. My sister did earlier. Last week, Tuesday evening, Nancy didn't feel well, and she still wasn't feeling well on Wednesday. So called her doctor, and her doctor said, let's get both of you. They have the same doctor. Get both of you tested for COVID-19. He didn't think that's what it was, but just in case, they went down and got tested last Friday. They got their results back on Saturday, and they were both positive. And Nancy hasn't really gotten any worse. She feels actually really good, other than her temperature goes up a little bit. But my father, I want to say, starting on Sunday evening, maybe Monday morning, Sunday evening, came down with really bad, like cold symptoms, and spiking a fever of like 102 off and on. So he's kind of still going through that cycle. It hasn't been anything worse than that. He's at home. And the doctor checks in every day, and really what they're doing is they're monitoring breathing. When my sister talked to him earlier, she said that she didn't notice anything to do with breathing. He was rambling on and not, lacking for breath. So that's kind of a good sign. That's kind of what they look for. So as of right now, it's just kind of treating the really bad cold symptoms.
They haven't had a second test.
Eventually, they'll probably do that. Yeah, I don't know. I ended up having to get tested on Monday because I was around him Monday and Tuesday of last week. And so was my daughter, so we both got tested.
So was I for a moment there.
That's true. That's true. Although he had a mask on when he saw you. With me, he was in the car, and we didn't have masks on. So
pretty close.
Yeah, and it's, the doctor, he said it was like borderline whether I should get tested, and so we decided to go ahead, and I could get results any day. It could be up to a week. So.
Did you get tested at Kaiser? Because I got tested within 3 days.
Yeah.
I mean, my results were in 3 days.
Yeah, they were running 2 to 3 days originally.
Yeah.
And because of the volume.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They actually,
more.
they built a new like 77,000 square foot lab, and the lab was having trouble keeping up.
Now they're prioritizing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But I haven't spoken to him myself today yet.
Okay.
I usually try to wait and see if, he likes to sleep and sleeps good. So.
Okay.
Yeah. It's weird.
Okay.
Tell them we're thinking about them.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah. I do have something I want to share with you guys real quick. Just hold on. Okay. August 1st, we're still doing the celebration at Jones' house. It's outside, so there will be social distancing and be outside. But I wanted to tell you, we do have a speaker next week. And I think Rebecca can talk about that. But before that, I got an email from the Pork Speakers Bureau, and they're going out and they're going to talk to us about the pork industry.
Cool.
And that's August 6th, and they're going to show us a virtual farm. So I just think you guys might mark that day to be at our Zoom meeting. We're going to do this all by Zoom, but it's about the safety and the food availability of pork. So we might get some inside knowledge from this Pork Speakers Bureau. So I just wanted people to know that.
Is that what I forwarded to you?
Yeah, I think you forwarded that one to me, Jerry. So,
hey, what time
okay.
at John's
house? 5:30.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't put the time there, did I? I sent an invite to everybody.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll make some baby back ribs for that pork meeting, and you guys can pick some up if you want.
Okay. And then Rebecca, did you have something? Can you tell us about the speaker next week?
It's a high school group from Lee. Yeah, Lee. And they're doing some overseas COVID relief fundraising to provide relief for multiple things. It was a brief conversation, to be honest, but they have a whole office of teenagers who put this all together themselves, and they would like to present for us.
Okay,
My
great.
alumni.
I think it's like in Greece or something too. So.
Ah. Okay.
And then
Anything
everybody
else?
needs to RSVP. Who's going to come on the 1st?
I am.
August 1st. Tanner. I just ordered the food. We have a great menu, some good desserts. Burke's on a margarita bar.
I'll be there with Shannon. I'm coming back from my vacation just for it.
Yeah, I have an outfit for you.
Thanks.
So now, did you decide, are you going to Newport or are you going down to Palm Desert?
We're actually going to both. Newport, Palm Desert on Saturday, and then we leave that following Saturday and go drive by to Newport.
That'll be good. You can cool off.
Oh, I have something to propose to you guys.
Yes.
Next month, I want to propose that we turn one of our lunch meetings into an evening meeting, and we have a dinner cook-off. And so what will happen is we choose one ingredient that everybody has to use through their meal prepping and make a complimentary drink that comes with it, and then present it to the team. So we have dinner together, but then there's one judge who's not, doesn't participate, and then the winner picks the next ingredient for the next challenge.
Ah,
Like
sounds
everybody
fun.
uses hamburger helper or something?
But how
No,
do we,
it's like,
I mean,
like you would say like the ingredient would be like
Oh,
ghost peppers or lime, or like something flavorful, but not like, because not everybody eats meat, so you can't do that specifically. It's more of a
Right.
seasoning or a flavor or a color or something like that. But you have to make a complimentary drink too that goes along with it that uses that same ingredient.
So you would be graded on presentation
And
creativity.
But we'd still be able to have dinner together too at the same time.
Yeah.
but not taste, right?
No, you can't come to my house.
No way. No.
I could throw food down from the balcony. But would you guys be up to that for switching one day a month to an evening meeting, and we do something like that gets us together and the spouses can be involved and stuff?
Yeah.
You can't order the food though. There's rules.
I say yes.
I'm down, yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
all
I cook every
enthusiastic.
night anyway, so.
I can see they're all enthusiastic. Yes.
No.
Even Paul. Even
Well,
Paul.
I mean, I wish that we would be able to taste it, because I mean, I know I would win every month. I would win.
Okay, is this meeting over? We're
You're in
giving
charge.
you.
Well, Brian's in charge of the bell.
We're giving you. too
Brian,
much
what time?
off.
Brian, I'm not going to be. What time on Monday, so I can make sure that I know.
9:30.
Morning?
9:30 in the morning.
Okay, that's perfect.
I'll read
Okay.
the
Would you stop cutting your nails in front of everybody? I mean, it's really.
Wait, Ken, are you sure? Because 9:30 in the morning, that's about the only time you can go outside in Palm Springs.
Well, because of the time change, isn't it 3 hours difference?
No, Palm Springs is 2.5 hours.
Okay, thanks, bro.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Jackasses. Okay.
I think we're done.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye,
Have a good day.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.